few years. And Bemidji, Minnesota's number 81 of Matt Sparby. He's become a mainstay in the desert with us in multiple divisions. So Johnny Scott still the time to beat a 15.637, 15.637. Lap number 1, Sparby, 16.005. That's good enough for third fastest. Tyler Erb, quick time, 15.542 for Tyler Erb. Bukowski goes 7th fastest, 16.595. We'll see on lap number 2, can Sparby go faster? He'll stay 4th fastest. Can Turbo go even faster? And Turbo will, 15.370. That's the time to beat. Quick time overall. And Bukowski goes 16.561. So the time to beat now, Tyler Erb, 15.370. Tyler Erb, 15.370, the time to beat. Up next, it'll be a first-timer to the desert. It's Clayton Holland out of Forney, Texas. The Zanker Motorsports Black Diamond Race Car. Vance Piper, pair number 71. He'll be joined by Scott Ward out of Watertown, South Dakota. And the number 37, the Wilbur Crop Insurance Barrel House. Rocket XR1 with CNC power. 10 wins a year ago for that competitor. And Jim Whistler and car number 28W out of Otis, Oregon. The Whistler Investments All-Purpose Storage. Vic Hill-powered Rocket XR1. That's your next 3 qualifiers, and they're all trying to get to Tyler Erb with a 15.370. Oh, Turbo's 3/10 better than anybody right now, DJ. We'll see if it holds up.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's been a few years since Turbo has been here, but one person with him that has not been here before is his crew chief, Randall Edwards. I talked to Randall Edwards a little bit earlier on tonight. I said, does this place remind you of anything? He said, yeah, but I can't quite pinpoint exactly what it does. And I said, well, did you learn anything here at practice night last night? He said, yeah. He said, I learned a lot of things of what not to do to this race car. So instead of Tyler Erb relying on his crew chief, Randall told me he might be relying on the driver a little bit more to give him some feedback about what to do to that race car.
Now, I'm sure Randall went back to the pit area after the races, ate 2 or 3 cheeseburgers, and he was ready to rock and roll here today as we're back underway with Sport Truck RV qualifying. And it's going to be the number 37 of Scott Ward. He's on the Speedway. The 28 of Whistler's there. The 28C is going to join the party. That's John Cornell, 1 win a year ago for the 3-time SWDRA late model champion. The Cornet-powered Rocket XR1, sponsored by ATEC Engineering and JC Precision. Meanwhile, Scott Ward goes second, 15.491. Whistler 7th fastest, 16.195. And we got a spinner up in turn 3 and 4. Hang on to it, Scott Ward, as he has to sneak by as Cornell goes for the 4-wheel free slide, and that is going to draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution here in Sport Truck RV qualifying, presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, and that was almost really bad as Cornell trying to get that number 28 fired back up, and man, not the way he wanted to start the day. The 3-time SWDRA late model champion. A home game, if you will, for the Phoenix, Arizona driver. And Dustin, I didn't know if Scott Ward was going to sneak by there or not. That one got close.
It sure did, and Scott Ward's sporting one of those special wraps on the side of his race car. I actually talked to him about that a little bit later, or a little bit earlier on this evening, and he was just telling me a little bit about the wrap and showing me some of the fine detail in it that maybe you can't quite see from the stands. And one of the things he had on the side of the race car was a heart with his wife's name on it. And he pointed that. He said, you see that right there? He said, that's the reason why I'm allowed to come down here and run this race again.
Hey, man, you got to thank the right people when you're
right.
doing that.
Hey, he's not dumb. He's married. He knows exactly what to do in order to, get on his wife's good side. You know what they say, right? You and I, we're both married. Happy wife, happy life. I know Cheryl, that's the reason she lets you come here, especially right after her 40th birthday.
She did. She wanted me to get away. The key was, I said, a getaway? She said, no, get away. So, all right, well, a driver not making it out in this set, Forney, Texas driver Clayton Holland, scheduled to be in the number 71, making his debut out here at the Kaiser Manufacturing Wild West Shootout. We'll see if he comes out in a future set as we're going to get these guys wound back up. Scott Ward, second on the board, 15.491, a little over a tenth slower than Turbo. Can he get there for top time here in Group A? We're going to find out as he'll get another shot at a lap. Jimmy Whistler, currently 7th fastest. And we'll see if Cornell can make up for his mistake on lap 1 with a good lap 2, as everybody's going to get one more shot at it off of turn number 4. So everybody on the white flag, they'll come back to the Hoker Trucking checkered flag out of turn number 4. And Scott Ward will stay second quick. He does not improve. Whistler does. He goes up to 5th. And how about that? Cornell up to 4th. Put all of his eggs in one basket, and he got in the top 5. So that moves Whistler back to 6th. Cornell 4th. Scott Ward 2nd. Up next will be Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas. Pulling double duty here, the 2015 Wild West Shootout late model champion, the Wichita Tank, Paulson Rock Products, Army Contractors, MB Custom number 20 for Rodney Sanders. Now a 4-time and defending USMTS champion. He had 20 wins a year ago, did the driver of the number 20. The B29 making her debut out here. It's Blonde Bomber Mitchell out of Pea Ridge, Arkansas, the elusive competition engine. MB Customs race car, sponsored by MV Suspension and Arkansas Farm and Beverage. Looks like Clayton Holland is going to make this set in the number 71 out of Forney, Texas. And the Zanker Motorsports powered Black Diamond, sponsored by Advanced Pipe Repair and Primeline. Tyler Erb, the time to beat a 15.370 as we close in on halfway through. And qualifying for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Clayton Holland, lap number 1, 13th fastest, struggling to get a handle on that race car. Sanders, 4th fastest, 15.665. Blonde Bomber Mitchell, 16.892. She will be 13th fastest. Off of turn number 4, coming to the Hoker Trucking checkered flag. Clayton Holland, will he improve? He will not. Rodney Sanders, 3rd quick, 15.564 for Rodney Sanders. And Blonde Bomber, 16.416. She will be 10th fastest. So Rodney Sanders, 3rd fastest behind only Tyler Erb and Scott Ward. Blonde Bomber, she goes 10th fastest. Clayton Holland, 15th. Coming up next, it'll be Dave Vennard out of Edmonton, Alberta in car number 7V. And the Zanker Motorsports Longhorn, sponsored by Alberta Green Industrial Coatings, joined on Speedway about 25F with a high side hustler, Jason Fager out of Bloomington, Illinois. And Brian Shirley, the winner a year ago tonight out of Chatham, Illinois, the Squirrel in car 3S. Jason Fager in the Titan Industries Digital Copy System, Hoker Trucking, Floyd's Waste Management, Griffin Sign Company, MB Customs, Pro Power number 25F. 4 wins a year ago. 2 of those came on the Hell Tour. And Final Karma Speedway, Brian Shirley, he got one of those Kaiser bonuses last year for 3 wins. 13 wins a year ago for the driver of the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express, J&J Ventures Gaming entry. Now a 4-time defending Summer Nationals champion. And Fager to the top of the leaderboard, 15.226 as Fager goes fastest, Shirley 7th fastest. Fager coming around for lap number 2. Will he go even faster? Closing in on Vennard off of turn number 4. Jason Fager on lap number 2. And he will not improve, but quick time. Meanwhile, Shirley, will he improve on lap 2? And Brian Shirley, as Vennard goes around up in turn number 2. Brian Shirley, 7th fastest. But race fans, you've got a new fast qualifier. How about it for the high side hustler, Jason Fager, a 15.226 for the driver out of Bloomington, Illinois. And Dustin, that's the way you make a debut in the desert.
Yeah, I talked to Jason about that a little bit earlier on tonight as well. And again, I asked him the same question I ask a lot of these guys that have never been here before. And I said, does this place remind you of anything at all? And he said, yeah, he said, maybe a little bit like Lakeside Speedway in Kansas. He said, obviously, you know, different facility and everything else, he said, but he said there's just something about the size and shape of this track. He said a little bit like Lakeside, maybe a tad smaller, he said, but other than that, it's nothing like anything else that we traditionally run on. And I said, well, did you learn anything last night that might help? Yeah. And he said, yeah. He said, I think that we hit on some stuff here last night. He's a guy looking to carry over some momentum from last year. He actually had a pretty strong 2020, picked up a pair of 5-figure paydays, and we'll see if he's able to carry that over here into 2021.
He sits at the top of the leaderboard in Sport Truck RV qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Then it's Tyler Erb, Scott Ward, Rodney Sanders, and Johnny Scott. Next qualifiers coming to the Speedway. We'll be looking for Dennis Souza out of Pescadero, California, the number 74X. The 21 of the Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas in car 21. And the 19 of Dustin Sorensen, the mod graduate out of Rochester, Minnesota. That'll be your next 3 qualifiers. As Souza scheduled to be the number 74 entry, the Masters built by Huey Race Car. He makes the call. He'll be joined on the Speedway by cart number 21 of Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas. 5 wins a year ago for a career win total now of 845 for the only 6-time World 100 winner. And the Carl Chevrolet, Mesilla Valley Transportation, M&S Concrete, Henderson Motorsports, Capital Race Car 21. And on the Speedway, the number 19 of Dustin Sorensen takes the green flag out of Rochester, Minnesota. 6 wins a year ago, including 1 in the late model of the Dirt Knights at Mississippi Thunder Speedway in the Ford Metro Incorporated MB Custom Race Car number 19. Lap number 1 for Souza, and he'll be 18th fastest. Billy Moyer, 7th fastest, 15.746. Sorensen, 14th fastest, 16.534, 16534 for Dustin Sorensen. Souza will stay 20th fastest, 17.470, his best lap. Moyer improves to 6th with a 15.685. And And Sorensen, much improved. He'll go 6th fastest, 15.682. So Dustin Sorensen, 6th fastest. Billy Moyer, 7th. And 20th will be Souza as the next set of cars get set to come out to the Speedway. And it'll be Luke Murfeld out of Dubuque, Iowa, in car number 21M, making his debut in the desert in the Key City Used Auto Parts Capital Chassis with Clements Power. He'll be joined by the number 48 of Craig Parker. Parker out of Waddell, Arizona, the Klein Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, MDM County, ATEC Engineering Race Car. And the number 75 of Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri. Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, the Andy's Frozen Custer, Don Babb Motorsports, Kaiser Manufacturing Capital with Durham Power. 6 wins a year ago for that driver. Only 1 came in the late model, and that was with the Comp Cam Series down at Boot Hill Speedway in Louisiana. They had to change power plants after last night, did Terry Phillips. We'll see if they can have better luck here today, as all 3 drivers are now on the clock. Lap number 1, Luke Murfeld goes 14th fastest, 16.408. Craig Parker will go 18th fastest, 16.764. Terry Phillips 10th fastest, 15.796 for TP. Lap number 2, Murfield up to 14th fastest. He improves with a 16.117, his best lap. Craig Parker will stay 16th, his best lap. And Terry Phillips will stay on lap 1. So Phillips 10th fastest, Murfield in the 21, 14th fastest. Craig Parker 16th fastest. Next 3 qualifiers coming up. It'll be the Premier Way Services, Allgaier Incorporated, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Hoker Trucking, number 32 for Bobby Pierce, and the Pierce Platinum Custom Racing Engine entry, 8 wins a year ago for the former World 100 and North-South 100 winner. He'll be joined on the Speedway by Matthew Ratzlaff out of Monte Vista, Colorado. The only laser chassis in the pit area, sponsored by San Luis Valley Repair, and he'll be in car number 16. And Chris Simpson, they also had to change engines after last night. Looking for better luck here today. And the Hoker Trucking, C&J Trucking of Iowa, Iowa, Illinois, Taylor Installation, MB Custom Durham entry for Chris Simpson. That's your next 3 qualifiers. Everybody trying to get to Jason Fager with a 15.226. That is the time to beat here in Sport Truck RV Super Late Model Qualifying, presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. All 3 drivers take the C&D bonding green flag as Bobby Pierce works off turn number 4. Chris Simpson off turn 4, and that will be 11th fastest, 15.844. Ratzlaff will be 26th fastest. Bobby Pierce on his first lap, 3rd quick, 15.382, 15.382. We'll see if Simpson can pick it up here on the lap number 2, and Simpson will, 10th fastest, 15.724. Ratzlaff and Pierce coming around for their final approach as the Hoker Trucking checkered flag waves. Ratzlaff will not improve, 26th fastest. Bobby Pierce stays 3rd. So Bobby Pierce goes to 3rd behind Jason Fager and Tyler Erb. Chris Simpson 10th fastest. As we get set for the final 3 qualifiers in Group A, it'll be Midlothian, Texas driver Chase Allen in the 130. The 15, a Mr. 10-time World of Outlaw Sprint Car champion and 10-time Knoxville Nationals champion Donnie Schatz out of Fargo, North Dakota. And the 91T of Tony Toast out of Arroyo Grande, California. And that brand new Longhorn race car he's debuting here today. Clements Power behind them, the Sillmaster, Billabong, Midwest Sheet Metal, Bill Stein, Toast Construction, Toast Grading and Paving, all sponsors on that number 91T for the 2015 West Coast Shootout champion. Donnie Schatz in car number 15, Durham Power under the hood of the Rocket XR1 Fast Lane Car Wash, Schatz Crossroads Truck Stops entry. As we said, 10-time World of Outlaw Sprint Car champion and 10-time Knoxville Nationals champion. And the 130 of Chase Allen making his Kaiser Manufacturing Wild West Shootout debut. And the Bobcat of North Texas, Dave Leach Construction, Circle 8 Construction, MB Customs by Kate Dillard Racing, Klein Racing Engine, number 130. White flag out, lap number 1. Chase Allen 15th fastest, 15.972. Donnie Schatz 5th fastest, 15.502 for Schatz. Tony Toast 7th fastest, 15.622. We'll see if these drivers can improve on lap number 3. And Chase Allen will stay 17th fastest. His first lap was the best. Can Schatz improve? Schatz will, 15.571. He'll stay 5th fastest, though. Tony Toast, quick time, 15.114, your final qualifier. And how about that? Tony Toast and Group A is your Sport Truck RV Fast Qualifier presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Dustin, how about you? That's your 30th and final qualifier. Goes quick time with a 15.114. The California driver and Donnie Schatz, 6th fastest, in that final set.
Yeah, 2 of the last 3 drivers come out on the racetrack are in the top 6 in qualifying in Group A. That's kind of cool. Now, these drivers in Group A, Ben, they're going to make up heat races 1, 2, and 3. Again, very similar to what we see in the National Touring Series. So heat races 1, 2, and 3, they're just about to be set. They're locked in by their qualifying times. We're about to wipe the slate clean now, and we're going to qualify the second half of the field. These are the drivers in Group B, and the way they qualify will determine how they start heat races 4, 5, and 6.
All right, the first qualifier will be Coolidge, Arizona driver James Webster in the Morton Group Rocket chassis number 5. He makes the call. The number 74 of Mitch McGrath out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. The Diamond Gems Auto Sales Source Services Dumpster Rental Rocket XR1 with a Pro Power Racing engine. 2 wins a year ago. And the number 59 of Garrett Alberson. Couple of wins last year for that driver. The Las Cruces, New Mexico driver now residing in Iowa. And the Rob Mayo Motorsports JNS Farms Mesilla Valley Transportation Rocket XR1 with Cornet Lightning Power, the 2012 Colorado Late Model Association champion. Webster comes around for lap number 1. Webster a 17.656. 17.656. McGrath 15.982. He becomes the time to beat. And now Alberson goes to the top with a 15.824 for Garrett Alberson. 15.824 the time to beat. Webster will stay third fastest. Meanwhile, McGrath stays second. Can Alberson go faster on lap number 2? And he will not, but he'll stay at the top of the leaderboard. So Garrett Alberson, the driver to beat in this set early, a 15.824, the Las Cruces native. Coming up next, it'll be Chad Simpson out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, making his debut here in the desert in car number 25, the Ideal Ready Mix Black Diamond Clements-powered mooring disposal Simpson Farms entry. 2 wins last year. They both came at Mississippi Thunder Speedway for the 2-time MLRA champion. He'll be joined by a driver making his debut as well, Doug Elkins out of Salem, Oregon, and the OG Collective Dispensary XR1 Rocket number 41 Pro Power Racing engine entry. 2 wins last year. They both came at Willamette Speedway. And then Kyle Beard, the Silent Assassin. He's become a veteran at this event. Out of Truman, Arkansas, the Gary Beard Trucking, Team 5 Enterprise, Rage Graphics, Sean Mann Motorsports, Capital Chassis with Clements Power, 2-time Comp Camp Super Dirt Series champion. Picked up the richest win of his career back in November, a $6,000 win in the All-American 60 at Jackson Motor Speedway. Lap number 1, Chad Simpson, second quick, 15.855. 15.855. Doug Elkins, fourth fastest, 16.241. Kyle Beard, fourth fastest, now 15.971. We'll see if anybody can improve here on a lap number 2. And Simpson will stay second fast. His first lap was his best one. Doug Elkins does not improve. He stays fifth fast. And Kyle Beard comes around, and Beard will not improve either. He stays fourth. So it's Garrett Alberson, the time to beat, a 15.824. Up next, it's Lyndon Bolt out of Rapid City, South Dakota, the number 3X. He'll be joined by the 49 of Superman, Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia, and the number 99 of Joey Tanner out of Portland, Oregon. That's your next 3 coming up. Lyndon Bolt in the Bolt Construction, American National, BJ's Food and Fuel, Beardsley, Jensen, and Lee Attorneys, Pro Power Racing Engine, MB Custom, number 3X. Joined on the Speedway by Superman, Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia, 3-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion in the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Spartan Mowers, ASC Warranty, Bill Stein, Midwest Sheet Metal, Cornet Powered Longhorn. He had 5 wins a year ago, finished third in the final Lucas Oil points. And on the Speedway with him will be Joey Tanner in the Bonafrio Motorsports, Skyline Ford, OG Collective Dispensaries, Longhorn Pro Power Racing Engine number 99 for Joey Tanner. 3 wins a year ago. 2 of those came in the Super Late Model Division at Willamette Speedway in Oregon. And they're all trying to get to Garrett Alberson with a 15.824. Lap number 1, quick time, 15.427 for Jonathan Davenport as he goes to the top of the leaderboard. Lyndon Bolt comes around. He'll be 7th fastest. And Joey Tanner now 7th, moves Bolt back to 8th. Can Davenport go even faster? 15.427 on lap 1. Lap 2, it's better, 15.237 for Jonathan Davenport. Lyndon Bolt stays 7th fastest, and Joey Tanner 8th. So new fast qualifiers, Superman Jonathan Davenport in car number 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia.
Ben, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Joey Tanner in the Donofrio Motorsports Skyline Ford number 99, he got too high down in turns 1 and 2 underneath the Kaiser Manufacturing Wild West Shootout banner. He got too high, hit the wall, actually climbed up on the wall. He was able to wrestle the car back down on the racetrack, but it certainly hurt that second qualifying lap. I'm sure he's going to take that car back into the pit area and see if there's any damage in the undercarriage of that number 99.
Thank you, Dustin. As the next three qualifiers come out to the Speedway, the number 28 of Jimmy Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin, three-time winner last year, in the Pro Power Racing Engine MB Custom number 28, joined on the Speedway by kart number 82. And that's going to be Eston Whistler out of Otis, Oregon, the 17-year-old. And joining those two on the Speedway. Hang on to it. Eston Whistler going to go for a spin up in turn number 2. So the 16-year-old Eston Whistler spinning around up in turn number 2. Chad Olson on this set, his first ever open engine super late model event here. And the Hendricks Farmers Lumber MB Customs Pro Power Racing Engine MB Golf Carts Olson Custom Farms entry, 5 wins a year ago for that driver. We see him here in the mod and the X mods, making his super late model debut here today at the event. We talked about Jimmy Mars in car number 28, a mainstay at this event. The Vite Specialty Contracting and Waste Management, Kai Chevytown, Deppy Enterprises, Vonco Waste Management Campus, MB Customs number 28. For the Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, Jimmy Mars. Eston Wheeler in the number 82 gets it lined out. So he said 17 years old. The Whistler Investments Rocket Chassis, Gray's Racing Engine entry. 2 wins last year, 1 in the late model, 1 in the modified. And we'll see if he can get her lined out now as we get back underway with Sport Truck RV qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. All right, so these 3 drivers on the clock. Davenport, the time to beat a 15.237. Still not fast overall. Group A 15.114 was Tony Toast. Lap number 1, Jimmy Mars, 4th fastest, 15.856, 15856. Whistler will go 9th fastest, Chad Olson, 7th. And Jimmy Mars, lap number 2, a little bit better, 4th fastest, 15.856. That was his best lap, actually his first one. Eston Wheeler stays 9th, Chad Olson 7th. Jimmy Mars 4th fastest behind Jonathan Davenport, Garrett Alberson, and Chad Simpson. Coming up next will be the number 157 of Mikey Marler, the 2008 Wild West Shootout champion and 2019 World of Outlaws champion, the Rocket XR1. Cornet Power, Delco Equipment Sales, Tri-River Enterprises, number 157 for Mikey Marler. The 7D, Austin Tice out of Hockley, Texas, and the Say Plumbing, Tice Motorsports Classics and Customs, Rocket XR1, Vic Hill Racing Engine 7D, and the 11 of Gordy Gundaker, and the Haley Motorsports, Bloomquist Team Zero race car, Clements Power under the hood for Gordy Gundaker. 5 wins a year ago for the St. Charles, Missouri driver, and the Lucas Oil McKay Corporation, Napa Auto Parts, Kaiser Manufacturing, High Caliber Graphics. Number 11 for Gordy Gundaker, 2-time defending Herald and Review champion. And that number 11 here in the Team Zero race car this weekend. Lap number 1 for Mike Marler, 5th fastest, 15.882. Austin Tice, 10th fastest, 16.503. Meanwhile, Gundaker, 10th fastest, 16.411, 16411. We'll see if Marler can pick it up here on lap number 2. And number 2, Marler will stay 5th fastest. Tice will be 10th. Gordy Gundaker, will he improve? No, yeah, he will. Gordy Gundaker shoots up to 2nd, 15.820. And Gordy Gundaker goes from 10th to 2nd. So Gundaker, the Missouri driver, puts that Team Zero race car 2nd, only behind Jonathan Davenport. Up next will be Hot Sauce Tomas Hunziker out of Bend, Oregon in car number 38. The 4G of Bob Gardner making his debut, the Washington, Illinois driver. And Trevor Gundaker, his brother, just went 2nd quick. We'll see what Trevor can do out of St. Charles, Missouri in the 11T. Tomas Hunziker in the Certainty AM1 Roofing and Siding, Spirit Field Racing, Rocket XR1, Gray's Racing Engine number 38. Joined on the Speedway by the 4G of Bob Gardner. And the Ober-Ender Electric, Springfield Electric Supply Company, Glenn's Auto Body, Rocket XR1, Pro Power Ford for Bob Gardner, and the 11T of Trevor Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri. Black Diamond Race Car, Clements Power for the Lucas Oil McKay Corporation, Napa Auto Parts, Gateway Powder Coating 11T. Lap 1 for Tomas, 12th fastest, 16.561, 16.561. Bob Gardner, 14th fastest, 16.828. 16828. Now Trevor Gundaker goes 14th fastest, 16.749. Tomas Hunziker, 12th fastest. Good lap for that driver, 16.445. That's his best lap. Bob Gardner will not improve. He stays 14th fastest, and Trevor Gundaker, 15th. So Tomas Hunziker, 12th. And 12th, Bob Gardner and Trevor Gundaker. Your next three will be Rusty Schlenk out of McClure, Ohio, making his debut here at FK Rod-Ins Arizona Speedway in the Domination Chassis, Mullins Racing Engine, Tom Finch Automotive, number 91. He'll be joined by Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 2S, and Steve Stoltz in the 78S out of Peoria, Arizona. As we said, Rusty Schlenk in the Domination Chassis, Mullins Racing Engine under the hood of the Tom Finch Automotive, Buckeye Concrete Coatings, Velocity USA, CP Carrillo entry, 5-time American Late Model Series champion and 3-time UMP National champion, Steve Stoltz in car number 78S, Black Diamond Race Car, Klein Racing Engine under the hood of the Alpine Stars Mobile Medical Center, Dirt Pro Incorporated, Rockwell Sunglasses 78, and Stormy Scott preparing for another year on the road with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And the number 2, Rancho Milagro Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, Top of the World Ranch, Longhorn Chassis with Clements Power for Stormy Scott. Lap number 1, Rusty Schlenk, 9th fastest, 15.982, 15.982. Stormy Scott, 10th fastest, 16.068. Steve Stoltz, 20th fastest, 17.141. Schlenk jumps up to 3rd fastest. Good lap for the first timer in the desert. 15.821 was his lap. Stormy Scott will stay 10th, 16.068. And Stoltz will stay 19th now as he jumps up one spot. But now Rusty Schlenk, the Ohio driver, 3rd fastest behind Jonathan Davenport and Gordy Gundaker. Coming up next, it'll be Cody Laney out of Torrance, California, the number 32B, the Pete Van Eiderstein Racing entry, joined by the 49 of Jake Tim, making his debut here out of Winona, Minnesota in car 49, and the 91P of Jason Papich out of Napomo, California. That'll be your next 3 qualifiers. Cody Laney, 6 wins a year ago. It all came in the modified division. The Pete Van Eiderstein Racing, Bard Hills Harley Davidson, CPD Racing, Shocks Longhorn with Cornet Power. And he's joined on the Speedway by Jake Tim in car number 49. Driver that comes to us out of Winona, Minnesota, and MB Customs OFI Performance. Herco sponsored Oak Ridge Fabrication, OFI Performance, and Horman's HVAC entry. 4 wins last year for him. And Jason Papich in the Papich Construction, Toast Construction, Longhorn Chassis with Clements Power out of Napomo, California. Lap 1 for Cody Laney, 14th fastest, 16.281. 16281. Jake Tim, 16.073, 11th fastest. Jason Papich, 4th fastest, 15.822. Those new Longhorns for Papich and Toast have been fast so far today. Cody Laney, 8th fastest, 15.860. And Jake Tim will stay 13th. Jason Papich, 4th fastest. So Jason Papich goes 4th fastest. Cody Laney goes 8th fastest. Jake Tim will be 13th. As we come up with the next 3 qualifiers, it'll be Blair Nodorf out of Renner, South Dakota in car number 76, last year's Tri-State Late Model Series champion coming up first. He'll be joined by the 20 RT of RTJ, Ricky Thornton Jr., the Arizona native now residing in Adel, Iowa, and the 98 of Jared Landers out of Benton, Arkansas. The Batesville, Arkansas native. That's your next 3 qualifiers. Landers will be in the 98. Nodorf in the Asphalt Pros, Bargain Barn Tire Center, Grandpa Ben's Ranch, Western Provisions, Katie Day Realtor, Pro Power Racing Engine, Black Diamond number 76. Joined on the Speedway by Ricky Thornton Jr., preparing for a run at the rookie title on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The SSI Motorsports 901 XL4 covering Certified Inspection Services Clements Longhorn, and they're joined by the 98 car, the Jason Rowan Racing entry for Jared Landers. Lap number 1 for Nodorf, 22nd fastest, 16.925. Thornton Jr., 16th, not what he thought he'd have, a 16.210. The Arnie Random Motorsports Rowan Precision Machining entry for Landers, 17th fastest, 16.243. As we'll see if these drivers can improve on lap number 2. Nodorf will stay 24th. His first lap was his best one. Thornton Jr., he's going to jump up to 2nd quick for Ricky Thornton Jr. Jared Landers, 17th. The big jumper in that one. How about it for Ricky Thornton Jr., now 2nd quick behind Jonathan Davenport with a 15.555. Final 2 qualifiers of the night will be the 48L car of Tim Lance. Tim coming to us out of Brimfield, Illinois, and the number 77 of Dustin Knight out of Central Point, Oregon. Tim Lance in car number 48, the Titan Industries Digital Copy Systems, Avanti Restaurante, Hoker Trucking, Floyd's Waste Management, Pro Power Racing Engine, MB Customs Race Car, and Dylan Knight will be in car number 77 Final qualifier here in the AFCO Shocks by Warrior. Masters built race car, Wrap Racing Engine, Hoppus Motorsports, SC Images, ABC Powder Coating, and Star Body Works, number 77. Jonathan Davenport, the time to beat in this session, a 15.237. So final 2 qualifiers of this 59 field in the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. White flag. Tim Lance, 24th fastest, 16.869. 29th fastest for Dustin Knight. This will be the final lap here in Sport Truck RV Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Oker Trucking checkered flag drops. And Tim Lance, 19th fastest, 16.278. His second lap was his best one. Dustin Knight, second lap was his best. He will be 28th fastest. That wraps up qualifying in Group B. Your fast qualifier in Group B, Jonathan Davenport, a 15.237. Then it's Ricky Thornton Jr., Gordy Gundaker, Rusty Schlink, Jason Papich. That's your top 5. Then Garrett Alberson, Chad Simpson, Jimmy Mars, Cody Laney, and Mike Marlar. But Dustin, how about your fast qualifier overall in Sport Truck RV qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway? Tony Toast and that brand new Longhorn chassis. He turns a 15.114. He was fast. Papich is fast. New race cars, new season. You got to love it, sir.
Hey, that's one of the reasons why we love coming to the desert, right? You never know exactly what you're going to see. You never know exactly who's going to be atop the leaderboard here. I'm guessing Tony Toast maybe didn't even have himself as being atop the leaderboard with nearly 60 late models here, but that's a big confidence boost for him and that team, and he's going to go back there, regroup, get that car ready, and he'll be starting up front in one of our 6 late model heat races coming up here in just a little bit.
Well, we've got about 15 minutes until opening ceremony, so now is a good time to go down, take a pause for the cause, grab you something to eat or drink. Make sure to go to down there to Bullet Tees and pick up those brand new merchandise for this event. A lot of awesome stuff down there. And please, we ask you in the grandstand area, all the county asked is they wanted us to have you folks to please wear masks. Please do that so we can continue to race and you can continue to be safe. We do appreciate your cooperation. And we are going to step away for a minute. When we come back, opening ceremonies.